Hey guys, DJ here at Top Tech Cards and Games, and today I'm actually going to be doing a modern MTG deck. Today I'm going to do a Grixis Pyromancer control deck for modern. It's a deck that's not really super meta or anything. Grixis control is obviously very meta, and it's just a slightly tweaked version of that deck, so it's sure to be just fine, but I basically just kind of wanted to port over the deck that I play in Legacy, Grixis Pyromancer, into modern, because Pyromancer is just one of my favorite cards to play with. I really like the play style of playing a bunch of cantrips and getting a lot of value that way. Plus, I think a lot of the cards that I would want to play in this deck play very well with the Grixis shell already. You play most of the same cards, ever so slightly tweaked. But let's just get into the list. First, I have 3-Young Pyromancer. Pyromancer is a real workhorse in the deck. You're going to play a lot of spells, get a lot of tokens, they're going to be threats, and it's just really, really sweet. One of the reasons I like this more than just the generic build of the deck, just playing more Delve guys, is that the Pyromancer tokens block Gurmag Anglers and Dasigers for days. So just by having a Pyromancer in play making tokens, you can just block all day against the regular version of the deck. Next up we have 2 Snapcaster Mages, mostly just because we don't have space for too many more creatures, but I would like to play a 3rd Snap most likely, but right now I'm just playing 2. It's just a really strong card, one of the best cards in Modern for sure, a real reason to play blue. But yeah, that's just pretty staple in these decks. Then we have 2 Taskers and 2 Gurmag Anglers rather than playing like 3 Anglers or something. But these cards are just both really strong, just being cheap, just very, very undercosted threats when you're playing cards like Seer Invasions and Thought Scour to power them out a little more quickly. And I mean, it just comes online very quickly to give you more threats. Next we have a pile of cantrips. I have 4 Seer Invasions, 4 Thought Scours, and I'm actually playing 3 copies of Gitaxian Probe. I do really wish I was playing 4 probes. I kind of hate not playing the full set, but I decided to play a 21st land instead of the 4th probe. But Seer Vision is not much to say about it. It's just such a good card selection in the format when all your other broken cantrips are banned, so that's what we have to work with. Thought Scour just fuels Delve so incredibly well, and getting to play it at instant speed is super relevant. And Probe, the information always helps. Being a free spell to cast is nice to power up Pyromancers and fill your graveyard for your Delve guys. And I mean, you don't have to play it for 0 mana. You can just pay a blue to cast it and just cycle in a card plus see your opponent's grip, which is never ever a bad thing. But I did choose to play a 21st land instead of a 4th copy, though I do like playing 56 card decks. And the reason I chose to play the 21st land actually is because of my counter suite. I wanted to play 3 Cryptic commands because Cryptic is just such a strong card, but I didn't feel comfortable playing it on 20 lands, so I decided to go upland. Along with our Cryptics, we have 2 copies of Mana Leak, 2 Smell Snares, 1 Remand, and 1 Dispel. It's kind of just a wonky split of them. Cryptic is just so strong, I wanted 3 copies. Mana Leak is very good early, and through most of the game, pretty average later in the game in the mirror. Sometimes Remand is just what you need though, like just the extra turn, get a card deeper. And it's just good to be varied, so when your opponent's playing around Mana Leaks, you have Remand to sort of punk them. Then Spell Snare is good in a lot of situations, as is Dispel.
Or the binder wasn't there when it was really very good.
Next we have our removal suite. We have 4 copies of Lightning Bolt, which kills a lot of the lower cost of threats in the format, as well as being kind of threatening as far as a burn spell goes when you're playing Snapcaster Mage. Then we have 4 copies of Terminate, the full set to deal with our opponent's big threats and just their boards in general. And then we're playing 2 copies of Kolaghan's Command. If I was playing more snaps, I would want another Kolaghan's Command. So if I cut something for another copy of Snapcaster Mage, I would shave a Terminate for a Kolaghan's Command. But in this situation, I chose to just play 2 copies. Even though the card has insane value, it has much less value when you're not using it in conjunction with Snapcaster. So I chose to just go with the much more straightforward Terminate for my extra removal type spell. Then for our mana base, there's 9 fetch lands to fuel our Delves and everything. So we have 4 Deltas, 3 Tarns, and 2 Bloodstained Mires. We just wanted more blues than the other colors, which is the reason for that split. For Shocklands, we have 2 Steam Vents, a Watery Grave, and a Blood Crypt. I would actually probably only use 1 Steam Vents if I had a Cascade Bluffs, but I don't. So I just played the 2 Steam Vents. I actually don't like playing a bunch of Shocks, though. I don't know. I don't like paying life for lands that way very often, but I really want to. I don't know. I like fetching conservatively. I'm just used to playing that way. Then we have 2 islands, a swamp, and a mountain for basics. Just being able to fetch a basics is very key. 2 Sulphur Falls, like I said, we want more blue-red lands. This guy comes into play tap normally, there's not a blue-red fast land, so we went with those. Then 1 copy of Creeping Tar Pit as an extra, fairly difficult to interact with win condition. I mean, there's Ghost Quarters and Tectonic Edges, but if you protect this well with counter spells outside of the lands that kill other lands, it'll do a lot of work for you. I didn't feel like we needed the other untapped land enough to play a Darkslick Shores in that slot. And then the extra land I put in, Desolate Lighthouse. Lighthouse is very strong in this deck. It fills your graveyard for, what are those called? Delve cards, Snapcaster Mage. Lets you loot away extra lands later in the game if you have too many of them. And it just helps you dig deeper. It's not quite as good as like a probe for just filling your graveyard up early, which is the card I cut for it, but it does give me an extra piece of mana to tap to play spells, and it also does let me get a lot of utility as the game goes on. So there's the deck list. It's a really cool deck. It's nothing like groundbreaking or anything. It is just a Grixis control deck with some different techs in it. I will play some gameplay videos with it in the near future, so you can expect those to be up soon. And other than that, let me know what you guys are interested in as far as Modern goes, how you think the deck will work, what you would change in it. Any questions you have about playing it, different matchups, or so on and so forth, just let me know downstairs in the comments. I'll be more than happy to try to answer everyone's questions. But other than that, make sure you like the video and subscribe to our channel for tons more content coming real soon, so you'll have a ton more Magic stuff to watch, as well as whatever other card games you're interested in. Don't forget to check out our website if you're looking for any cards or anything. And other than that, I will see you guys soon.